What's good, elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Melissa Ford, I see you. Hell, the world sees you. Way to buy in. I'm glad everybody is putting their best foot forward. Well, at least Melissa, Flip, Mark, everybody's starting to buy in slowly but surely. Now we have storylines and narratives that are tying in from the pod, that are tying in from the community, that are tying in from the Ian and Mark show. And now we have something to look forward to on the Podwives episode, because there's no way we ever thought Ian would be in the sauna with Mel, especially with Mel looking like that. Good Lord. 50 where? Way to get the engagement up. I seen the Patreon comments. They're looking like a episode of a podcast with the comments and the engagement and the likes. That's what I'm talking about. Now Joe has his second show up and running. If he can get everybody to buy in on this second show, I can get my third show up and running. If we're not counting Podwives, although that is a show, I'm talking about of the JBP variation. Well, I guess you could still include Podwives in that, so that's 3 shows. What's the 4th show going to be? I'm interested. Now they got me intrigued. Now Joe is being a genius by building a Joe sphere. He has his own universe. Of course, he had all of these communities out here in internet land, but if he could build his own universe, the potential is endless. Talking about franchise, talking about Fast and Furious. No, I'm just playing. But am I? It starts off as a joke, but then you look and it's like, well, we got all the equipment, we got all the people, and each one of these people has their own notoriety in the space. Why can't we build a universe? Why can't we build a production picture? I don't know. I'm thinking big now. Hopefully everybody else is thinking big. Hopefully I was all the way wrong. Hopefully they seen these Patreon numbers and they are inspired now. Like, oh shit, maybe there is a chance that I could make $1 million a year off this shit. It may not happen now, but if I buy in and those Patreon numbers go up, he'll be more inclined to pay us more. And I'm not saying I'm one of the few people that's thinking that they're getting paid nicely already. I'm one of the very few people. I don't think Joe's dicking him like that. Because if he was, this would absolutely cause dissension in the ranks. But I don't think it's going to happen. They may be frustrated for the first week or two, but it seems like they're about to get back on track. This episode of Ian and Mark show was a great indicator. Shout out to Melissa Ford. Shout out to Mark, because I didn't even speak on the last episode where he got demoted from his lieutenant status. But I think it's funny. I think it's dope that they have a storyline already for Ian and Mark's show. It just started. But I do have a complaint about one person on this show. Joe, you can't get mad at everybody else not contributing as much as you like, but then you get on the behind the scenes in the Ian and Mark show and your acting is the worst out of everyone's. Even Flip is giving better effort than you. Even Daisy's giving better effort than you. We're constantly speaking on her not eating. Great job, guys, because I thought these episodes were recorded like prior to the podcast coming out. I guess they're actually recording it as it's happening, because a lot of things that they were speaking on in the podcast tied into the behind the scenes. So I think that's dope. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow's episode. Tomorrow's episode should be very, very telling, because it's a carryover from what happened on Tuesday when they were recording. Is everybody frustrated still? Is anybody frustrated at all? Is everybody motivated? Because that's what that should have been. Joe didn't actually leak the numbers himself. We, the community, leaked those numbers. Shout out to Brandon. But if they take it as motivation, eventually those numbers can be theirs. And as long as they keep contributing to their own things outside of the podcast, it's going to work in their favor. But it only works if you put your best foot forward on the podcast. Because if it seems like you're holding back on the podcast and then we go check out your content and it's worse than that, we're going to turn off of you. We're not going to go follow you. Everyone can win from this. If we take the money aspect out of it, because a lot of y'all in the comments are right. This is not their business. This is Joe's business. Everybody should be happy for Joe. And if you sign the contract working at the JBN or the JBP, you should be satisfied until it's time to renew. And then, of course, that's when you negotiate. But if you're putting your best foot forward on the JBP, which is already getting all the eyes, whenever people become adorned by the things that you do on the JBP, they're more willing to follow you. And then, even if you make mistakes on your own personal page, it won't matter as much because they're giving you time to grow on your own. You got to use this to benefit you. No one up there is trying to get equity stakes. No one up there is trying to get points on the video. So you might as well use the exposure to your benefit. Put your best foot forward at the JBP. More fans will turn on you and want to see what you're doing outside of the pod, and then your own personal brand could grow. So shout out to everybody putting their best foot forward. Tomorrow's episode should be very interesting. This has nothing to do with quote unquote drama, but I absolutely want to hear what Ish has to say about Ace Bailey going to Utah, because his face said it all. It's gonna be memes. I was talking to my brother as soon as it happened. I was like, bro, look at his face when they take the pictures. He was already pissed when they called his name, but like, look at his face when he's standing on the podium. They did all of that just for him to go to Utah. And Ish, it makes sense why he's mad, and it makes me want to tie further into what he was saying a long time ago with that sports agency shit, because I didn't think he still worked for them, but he's saying his people, and this is the agency that he was going to work for prior to officially joining the JVP. So I want to know if he still has any ties in that, because I don't want to put his daughter on blast, but Mr. Cooper's daughter's draft didn't go the way they wanted it to, and Ace still went high, so maybe this is a step in the right direction for that agency. But I'm curious. I don't know if Ish was shouting them out because they're best friends and they're very close, or if Ish has ties in that business. So hopefully he speaks on that in tomorrow's episode. But as always, we'll come back tomorrow. We'll have the drops. We'll see what's going on. We'll speak more and more on it. I apologize. Your boy had a little business to take care of today outside of yard, so apologies for the late drop. Hopefully we can get back to multiple drops going forward. It's going to be a busy summer, man. Been slacking. Your boy been slacking. I'm sorry. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know what it is. You already know what we doing. You already know how we rocking over here. Salute. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.